Welcome back to another episode of TVGP's We Roguelike It, the show we definitely play every roguelike in history, asterisk. I'm your host, Boston, joining me as always is Moonpier.
You know, I hate it when you make that quote unquote joke because I know you quote unquote actually mean it.
Yeah, I don't know if I have enough time left on this earth to play every roguelike, especially since it feels like there's,
15 come out every week.
yeah, like on Steam, it's just like, alright, here's a roguelike deck builder, and by that I mean there's 10 of them. So it's like, okay, cool, appreciate you
Uh-huh.
guys are making your games, but, you know, it makes it hard to find more of them. First world problems, all right?
Yeah.
All right, here's week 3 of Dreamscaper. How did
Uh-huh.
your week in the land of dreams go?
So I got up to the final level.
Okay.
I had a really powerful build, and then halfway through a run, I changed. Like I ended up with like a couple of good lightning lucid attacks, and
Hmm.
then um, I got a lightning booster keepsake.
Ooh, okay. Was that the tweet I had seen on your Twitter account this
No,
week?
but we'll get
Okay.
into that one. And then um, I finished a floor, and when you're on the floor change, you can change who your influence is.
Oh, right,
So,
right, right.
so I changed it to the dude who's got the lightning boost.
Mm,
And I was like, "Yep, this is great. That's what I'm gonna do." Then I think I'm going to just very gently lean into this lightning thing and see how it goes.
yep.
And then I beat the boss of level 4, the boss of level 5. I got
Jeez.
like the boss of level 5. I did it with probably about two HP left.
Yeah.
Like,
I that's always me on like half of my runs with the boss on the second floor, which thankfully is a pretty easy boss. But it's
mhm,
always like I'm getting managing to do all these perfect dodges where it does that cool slowdown thing. I'm like, oh,
So here is something I didn't think of, but
hmm,
should have done before this week.
okay,
When I go around the floors and I see health potions and my health is full,
hmm,
I'm not selling them. I'm leaving them.
yeah, because thankfully it's not like Enter the Gungeon where you leave the room and the resourceful
They
rat comes and
vanish.
steals them.
Uh-huh.
Yep,
So you can go and fight that boss, and then if you beat him and you have a critical condition on your health, we'll say,
right.
you just fast travel back to the rooms with the health potions and you can pick them
Yep.
all up.
Oh, and the fast travel in this game is so nice. Like
It's so good.
being able to do it from anywhere to anywhere is really, really nice.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's so good. Like as soon as you've cleared a room, you can just go there. And it's especially great if you find a secret room. And then like an entrance is like a bomb and key door, and then you just
Hmm.
go, okay, I'm just gonna teleport to the other side of this door now, go away.
Right.
Like, I'm not wasting a bomb and a key on this. Go away. Thanks.
Man, did they patch the game this week? Because I feel like on my runs this week, I'm finding at least a hidden room every floor.
I think there is always a hidden room on every floor.
I feel like they're really obvious. Like obviously they're a door that
It's
looks
the Isaac
shimmery.
rule.
Yeah, exactly.
So the shimmery door that only happens if you use a bomb in that room. That shimmery door does not occur unless you've used a bomb in that room already.
Oh, okay. That makes more sense. All
And
right.
and they are always in the block of 3 around them.
Yeah, yeah. Very much the
With
Isaac algorithm, like you said.
yes, where it's one of those things where like a puzzle room doesn't connect to it because there's only 2 entrances in a puzzle room usually.
Right, right. Okay,
So
that makes more sense.
So like the shimmery door that you've seen that probably because you've blown up like a bomb crystal tile
Yeah, yeah.
in the same room, and then that shows the shimmery door, which is very helpful.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I am at the point now where whenever I'm pushing the range of my bombs to see if I can blow up that and check for a door at the same time, just
Right,
so I don't use
right,
2 bombs.
right.
Um, but no, I had a pretty good run. I'm pretty sure I got up to the final level, which was really fun. Like having a super powered run because I was using the fire based yo-yos, and
Oh
then
yeah, those are cool.
I happened to run across like the karate stance
Mm,
um, that had a lightning effect, and I was like, well, I'm taking this because I've already
yeah.
built so heavily into lightning. Like I was critical hitting people for like 500 damage. Like
Oh jeez.
it was great.
Just one-shotting entire rooms. That's great.
Uh-huh. So I started doing that. I made a whole bunch of progress in like unlocks this week, like
Mm.
making yourself more powerful, that kind of stuff. And yeah, this is the week I started paying attention to item descriptions because I'm stupider than I wasn't beforehand.
Yeah, the second one you tweeted about was the probably the first one I saw where I'm like, all right, you're if you're gonna put a meme in your game, you better make sure it's a very classic one.
And it this tells me 100% that these people grew up in the internet when
Yes,
I did.
yeah, they were on
Because
bash.org along with the rest of us.
yes, because the Thundering Strike one, which was the first one I posted, and the getting description of that is, it sounds like 1,000 birds.
Mm-hmm.
That is specifically a Naruto reference.
Yep.
When in the first season of Naruto, when they do the Chidori, which is the lightning ball hands,
Mm-hmm.
it's specifically calling that out. Which
It's
I saw
very
the
good.
description and I was like, if this does what I think it does when I activate it, then bravo for the
Right.
very deep cut because that's a
Yeah.
throwaway line in Naruto.
Yeah,
Like,
like that. I feel like that's kind of a pretty specifically great one.
and then the second item was the wizard robe, which is a sick item by the way. Which
It's
is like
very good.
it's like 30% HP, I think,
Mm.
and like
A whole bunch.
10% elemental damage for every element type.
Yeah, it has like 7 or 8 lines on it. It's great.
And the item description was, I put on my robe and wizard hat.
Uh huh.
Which, as soon as
It's
I saw
really
that, I was just
good.
like, I full credit where it's due.
Hmm.
You got me with that one. You
Yep.
100% got me.
Just waiting for
Because
them to make a Hunter 2 joke at some point in this game, and
oh,
then I'll know
it
they were on
might already be
bash.org.
in there. Yes.
Probably. Uh,
Like honestly, it's probably in there. I haven't unlocked anywhere near that entire book of items.
no,
So,
gosh, yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
the Breaker Sword, I think it's called the Breaker Sword, not the Buster Sword, the Breaker Sword.
Mm.
The item description for that is like, oh, it's like from my favorite video game. It's like, okay, I get it.
Wink.
I get it. That's an obvious one.
Yeah.
It sounds like 1,000 birds one is not obvious,
No, that's a pretty deep cut.
and the Roman Wizard has like that's a particular vintage.
Right.
Anybody of a particular vintage who knows that will know it, and
There, it's
anybody
gonna.
who doesn't,
You're gonna be like me, and you snort right away. We're like, yeah, yep, that's great.
yeah. Did you? So did you? Is that the first time you saw it? Was when I tweeted about
No,
it?
I that was the one I picked up. I think it was the very first time I beat the very first boss. That was the item that dropped. And I hadn't seen any. I either hadn't seen any items with descriptions on them yet, or I hadn't paid attention. So that's the very first one I saw, and I was like, "All right, you
Oh,
and me, developers, we're good."
yeah. It's a ridiculously deep cut. Like
Mm-hmm.
again, people of a certain age will get it.
Yeah,
Well,
it's very good.
correction. People of a certain age, of a certain internet age, will get it.
Right, right.
Nobody else is going to get that joke.
No.
Like, nobody. And I absolutely adore the fact that they threw that in there and just didn't care if you got it or not. Which,
Mm-hmm.
thank you, by the way, Dreamscaper, for liking my tweet.
Oh, they did. That's great.
Yes, they did.
Oh man.
Because, why not?
I
So,
also
yeah,
just
I got to.
Googled, I put on my robe and it finished, and wizard hat, by the way.
Yeah. Of course.
Yeah.
It has to at this point, I think.
It's so good.
If
Um,
you don't know that, folks, and you'll listen to this, just Google, I put on my robe and wizard hat.
yeah, Know Your Meme has a pretty good page on it.
It's
Um,
so good. And it's like things that cracked me up when I was a kid. And you're right. Like, as soon as I saw it, I was just like,
I remember that.
Mhm.
I did a bunch of runs this week. I didn't really make any progress on unlocking stuff. largely because I kind of didn't want to. I went in and I turned on the modifier for larger floors, and man, I'm having a blast.
I love the larger floors modifier.
Having those larger floors, and are the size of the floors doubled or are they 50%? I
It's
don't remember.
50%
Yeah.
increase.
It feels way bigger than that in a way that I think makes it more fun. I obviously runs are going to be longer, but putting that 50% modifier on is just like, okay, now we got some floors here. Like I've got some materials to get. I'm overloaded with bombs now, which is really great. I'm getting a whole bunch of like the challenge rooms and the item rooms and stuff. Like I feel like I'm seeing a lot more, and if a floor is going poorly, I'm in bad shape for the boss, which is fine. But I feel like I'm having a lot more fun. So whenever I would wipe on a run, I would just dive right back in because I'm like, man, I'm having a blast with these bigger floors. I'm just gonna get back in and get more materials.
Yeah, and like it's more floor, it's bigger floors, which also help with like you got a higher chance of getting health potions. You
Yep.
are spending more time with that particular type of enemy, so you're seeing it more, so you're getting used to
Yeah.
using it more. Better chance of challenge rooms, better chance of like good drops and chest rooms and everything else, and it's just like cool. I will
Yeah.
take this every time.
Yeah, like most of the chest rooms, even on the first floor, were purple and orange items. I was just like, gee, okay, great. This is I'm doing all right here.
Oh
So,
yeah,
so
100%.
yeah, I feel like that modifier is the other ones seem pretty fine. Where it's like I take 50% more damage, you get less stuff and stuff like that. That seems fine, but the easy one is definitely the larger floors. More fun. You get more resources, but it doesn't seem like it's like an overabundance of resources. I'm sure it is if you sort of start mixing and matching those. But
Well, it's
man,
also like it gives you the opportunity to get the sand to be able to buy stuff from the shops when they appear,
yeah, because
because
like,
some of those things are expensive.
yeah, because one of my frustrations in the game early on was like, you'd find maybe 3 or 4 rooms in, you'd find the shop, and I'd have like 200 sand maybe, and it'd be like, all right, here's an item for 400, 900, 1300, and I was like, I can't even. I'm nowhere close to, even if I'm like recycling all of my items and health potions and everything. There's no way I'm gonna come close to this. But
No.
now I feel like I'm at least in the realm of being able to afford that stuff.
Yeah, and I'll be honest, something I learned this week as well is one of my favorite things is that item book that you unlock weapons in.
Hmm.
You can toggle them to spawn or not spawn as well, which is
Oh, I didn't even know that.
great.
Man, I really love. I really really like more and more roguelikes having like a lockout system.
Hmm.
I think we saw that in a most recent update for Neon Abyss, where they had that giant wall of items and you could kind of toggle them on and off. I really like that. I don't think I'll use it in a lot of roguelikes, because I think half of the fun is like going in. I was playing a little bit of Isaac this week, and I got uh, the tiers that rotate around your head. I was just like, great. All right, this run was not going great, and now it's definitely not going great. But
Now it's a fail run. Yeah.
yeah, now it's largely a failed run. I got pretty far, but that was just me being stubborn. So I kind of like the wrench being thrown in the works, but I do really appreciate more and more roguelikes being a little bit more friendly but optional. Like we've seen in a bunch of stuff lately. We've seen like God mode. This one has lucid mode, which I totally forgot to turn on this week. But I like there's all these optional things to make it a little bit easier. I like that. I want more people to play roguelikes, and I want less people to be afraid of them, because they're not anything to be afraid of. But if they're too hard for you, then start turning on stuff. Or if you need some accessibility options, start turning that stuff on. Like whatever.
Yeah, 100%. And like being able to go through and like right now I'm changing my loadout all the time. Basically, I'm mastering something and then a ridiculously loud motorbike goes past. Um,
Jeez.
like that, I'm guessing that was loud enough to break through my
It for sure was. That was impressive.
um. But I'm going through like and I'm mastering items and then I'm switching them off from my like starting rotation. So like I'm using a weapon,
Right.
getting used to it, and then switching out to something else. Um, I'm really enjoying the capability to start with something that I'm not usually that good at, like the yo-yos, like the
Right. The
earth
punchy things.
bending thing.
Yeah, right.
Um, like I'm really appreciating the ability to start with them because at this point, at the first floor, I've gotten down. Like I know that first floor, the enemies, I
Yep.
know the whole thing back to front. And that boss, like, I'm annoyed if I take damage on that first floor.
Right. I'm annoyed if he gets like if I get through 2 damage phases and he's not dead yet. I'm just like, come on, man. I should have just skipped you. Let's
Uh-huh.
go. Speed run.
Yep. And it's
Yeah.
just like, come on. Like, but doing so is letting me experiment with more things. And it's like, okay, I wish it had not just the unlockable weapons, but all weapons in that list. So
Hmm.
you could, so I could turn off the slugger. Like, I don't care about the slugger
Yeah, I
anymore.
don't need to start with it anymore. Like it's a good weapon, but I wanna see some other stuff.
But I'm also at the point where, like, I'm starting every run now with 2 bombs and 2 keys
Yep.
because I've unlocked that thing. I'm starting with a companion now as well, which is randomly decided.
Oh, that's nice.
It's super cool when you get like the companion who hits behind you or the rotating companion that absorbs bullets for you. Like
Yeah.
that's really cool.
Yep.
Oh, I like this game a lot.
Yeah. I have been largely playing something else this week that we'll talk about on the main show here, but whenever I'm not playing that, I'm 100% playing Dreamscaper, and
Yeah,
I I am really really enjoying it in a way that I makes me grumpy that more places aren't covering it.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think it deserves more. It 100% deserves more than it's got,
yeah,
and it's it's got a nasty kick you in the heart story as well. Just as a heads up, by the way, boss.
yeah, yeah. It's got plenty of stuff kind of in the. I like all the little, like the yellow shimmery memory stuff. That's
Uh huh.
that's that's everywhere around. I like that you get a little bit of voiceover there of like, I didn't know I was burned out until it was way worse than it seemed to be, and I was like, oh man.
Uh
Also
huh.
2022, yikes. Um,
Yeah.
so,
Wait until it's Zone 4 and start reading some of that memory stuff. It's
oh
a
boy,
literal nightmare.
yeah, yikes.
Oh,
Um,
also, Pro, did you hit the level 3 boss yet?
no, I keep there. Level 3 is by the time I get to level 3, if I can make it there and I'm in good shape, I get too cocky, and then the enemies down there just are more than happy to smack me around very quickly. So I play it safe on floor 1 and 2, and then by the time I get to floor 3, I'm like, I am an unstoppable golden god. How did I lose? What just happened? So yeah, I
Yeah,
gotta.
when you get to level 3, there's a clock mechanic. Just keep in mind when you get there.
Mm,
Um, pay attention to where the hands are.
gotcha. Okay. Final Fantasy 13 2 coming back to bite me again with clock mechanics.
Dude, you can't say nothing considering you play Destiny 2 on the reg, so don't
I
even
do.
start.
No. God, Final Fantasy. Talk about another game that got unfairly derided was Final Fantasy 13 2. What an incredible game that people just never played.
Uh-huh.
It's one of the best Final Fantasies out there.
Something that we haven't mentioned on this game yet? I don't think so.
Mm.
The score, the music.
Oh, it's so good. Who redid the
Uh-huh.
music on this?
Like it's ridiculous. Like
Um,
it's really, really cool.
this is done by. Oh God. Okay. Hold on. This is wild. I've met this dude in the past. This is done by Dale North, who used to work at Destructoid, and I actually met him at my previous job. He's very nice. Also, did the soundtrack for Wizard of Legend.
Of course.
Yeah. Wow, that's wild. Oh, he does some really great stuff. Available now on dalenorth.bandcamp.com for $10. I should have bought that during Bandcamp Friday. Ah, man.
Uh-huh.
That's great.
This is ridiculous. Like, this is... More people need to talk about this game.
Yeah. I think if you're listening to the show, you probably like roguelikes. And if you can play this game, you really should. I think Fayror in the community was just saying that it was on sale on the Switch recently.
Yeah, I think it's 40% discount.
Yeah, that seems like... If it runs well on the Switch, that seems like a no-brainer to play it over there. Go play Dreamscaper. It's really good. Man.
You really should.
All right, any final thoughts here for Dreamscaper Week 3?
Go play it, I guess, maybe?
Yep. It's real good. I concur.
Uh-huh.
All right, well, that's it for this week. We'll see you all next run. Bye.
Bye.